Hey, this is Travis with Two Brothers Adventures. I'm going to talk today about the new Mora addition into their bushcrafting series. This is the Pathfinder, new for 2014. I'm going to pull it out so that you can see the knife. We're going to set aside the sheath and we'll talk about that at the end. So this Mora came out with this knife primarily targeted at the US market. This is the big brother to the Bushcraft Black that came out last year. The only difference between the two knives is this one has a much bigger blade. So we'll talk about the specs, dimensions of this thing first. It is 3.2 millimeters thick, or 0.126 inches. 170 millimeter long blade, or 6.69 inches. And overall length is 295 millimeters, or 11.6 inches. So you can see this is a very big Mora knife. It's made out of carbon steel, just like the Bushcraft Black, so the same type of steel. It's got the Scandinavian grind, as you can see on the blade, like most of the Mora knives. And overall weight, this thing is 5.78 ounces, so a bigger, heftier knife. Just for comparison purposes, this is the traditional Mora clipper that everyone's kind of familiar with, pretty famous in the bushcrafting circles. So you can see this is a much bigger knife if you're looking for a bigger blade for some of your bigger bushcrafting type tasks. Also much thicker, as you can see here. So this knife, like most of the Mora knives, but specifically this knife, was ground specifically on the back here, so it's really squared off, and got a nice edge here. You can use it to shave tinder off of branches and things like that. It's also great for striking fire steels. Because it's carbon steel, this knife you can strike off of it, and it's metallic. You'll get sparks, with using rocks. So a great overall bushcrafting knife as far as that goes for fire starting. The handle on this is a grippy rubber, ergonomically designed to fit your hand. So as you can see, it fits my hand nice. You have a little groove here for your index finger, and nice swells. It fits nice in the hand. On the back, there are 3 raised grooves here where you can get purchased with your thumb. And then there are also raised grooves on the rear of it. At the very back, there's a plastic cap. So this knife is 3/4 tang. So the tang goes right about back into about here. So this last inch, the last inch or so, has this plastic cap. But you can't feel any flex or anything like that whatsoever in this knife. So nice and solid. This knife retails for just under $100. So if you're looking at price, it's just under $100. Now we'll talk about the sheath. The sheath that this comes with is kind of a new design for Mora. It's more of a tactical design. They went with the ballistic type nylon sheath. And as you can see, it's single retention with a snap. There are metal grommets on either corner or at either end where you can use it to lash it down to something. And then it's got the molite style attachment, so you can attach this onto your pack or whatever. And then there's a plastic liner. Now, one of the complaints that people have about this sheath is that it's hard to put the knife back in. Sometimes the knife, if you put it in, if you just jam it in, sometimes it'll hang up like a little bit. And the reason for that is, if you can see, this thing is wickedly pointed right on the end, almost a needle point on this grind. So if you're not careful and put it nice and level, you can see it'll go in perfectly, no problem if you go nice and smooth. If you get it at any kind of an angle, that needle point's going to dig into this plastic and is going to bind it. So people are complaining about the sheath. It's not a sheath design. I don't know, you probably can't see down there with the camera and the light. Let's see if we can shine a flashlight down in there. Let me fold this out of the way. So there's nothing down in the sheath whatsoever that's binding. Playing with it a ton, what it is, again, is that needle point digging into it. So a great sheath design overall. Much better than the traditional plastic. More sheaths you get. This one's a lot more versatile, where you can put it on a pack or whatever. And with the retention, the knife's going to stay put. It's not going to go anywhere. It hooks into the groove, so it's not going to fall out. Great on the outside of your pack. So if you're looking for a large style bushcraft knife, especially one with the name like Mora, with the same type of steel, take the same type of abuse that you've come accustomed to, definitely check out the Mora Pathfinder in the Bushcraft black color.